In this video, we are going to talk about toxic friendships because you know what? There is not a lot of information out there. You know that, and I know that. There's a lot of information about romantic relationships, the good and the bad. There's a lot of information out there about our relationship to our parents, the good and the bad. What there isn't a lot of information about is friendships and how to identify toxic friendships, how to manage them out of your life, and importantly, how to identify potentially toxic friendships, which I think is super, super important and something that I wish I definitely had more information in my life. And so what has happened is a toxic friendship that has recently been eliminated from my life. And this is something that came as a bit of a surprise. This is something that I definitely did not identify in the beginning, that towards the end, I definitely did identify. And so what I did as a result is I have spent pretty much the whole weekend unpacking all the dynamics of the friendship as well as other friendships that I've had in the past. So in case you're new to this video, my name is Winnie the Bunny. I am a really passionate entrepreneur and someone who's really, really passionate about personal transformation and absolutely committed to bettering myself so that I can be a better impact and a better person to people in my life, to the work that I do, and to, through the work that I do out there, be a better person just in terms of the planet in general as well, not just in terms of the planet as well. Side note, eliminate the word just because it is a diminishing word. We diminish ourselves in what we say when we use the word just, okay? So what I wanted to talk about today, as I said before, is toxic friendships. And my hope is that by sharing some of these insights for you, there are like pages and pages of notes. So we're not going to get through all of that today. So please come back to this channel and view other videos or join me on Instagram. So my handle on Instagram is at Winitha_Bonnie. So at Winitha, WINITHA_Bonnie, BONNEY, where I'll be sharing those insights as well. So definitely come back to this channel and look at some other videos that I'll be posting in the future. And I'll be doing this on a weekly basis because we are committing to ourselves to show up weekly on YouTube and to give generously to the world as the world has given to us. So a little bit about my background. I do teach psychological safety. So I teach it in a corporate setting in terms of how do we identify, create, manage, and nurture psychological safety in the workplace in terms of teams and culturally as an organization, as a business. I am also someone that has gone through what I call the cycle of abuse. And someone that has experienced quite a lot of psychological abuse throughout my life. And that is something that I am proactively now something that I am definitely identifying and managing better in my life. And the wonderful thing is that as I've been able to teach this work, I've been able to better also, as a byproduct of teaching that work in a corporate setting, I've been able to better identify and proactively mitigate against psychological abuse in my life as well, and be friends with people that create an environment, a sense of safety, psychological safety as well. That said, I'm a flawed human being who makes fucking flawed mistakes all the time. And that is exactly what has happened the last couple of months. I became friends with a certain someone, and there was an incident. And then when that incident happened, I then looked back and saw all the signs. And because it was so subtle and so convert, I don't even know what the word is. Covert, I think that's a word. That has given me a whole bunch of insights. Now, the thing that I have also really identified is that there isn't a lot of information about friendships, and some of the self-help people and people in personal transformation talk about the loneliness epidemic or the loneliness pandemic, and that how a lot of people are experiencing loneliness. That said, I'd rather be fucking lonely than have toxic friendships in my life. And I know that if we are experiencing loneliness, we are definitely going to be looking for meaningful friendships in our life. And we're going to be seeking out friendships because connection cannot happen only through the romantic sense, the sexual sense, and it cannot only happen through the biological sense. So meaning with our people that are biologically, related to us, mainly our immediate family and our parents. And a lot of us have a lot of dysfunction. I know I can speak for myself. I have a lot of dysfunction in those two areas. And the last thing that you need is dysfunction in your friendships, platonic relationships as well. So I'm here to share generously what I know to be true for me. You have complete agency and autonomy over your own experience in this YouTube video, in learning what I'm sharing with you today. So take the parts that serve you and check out the rest. Because the truth is, everything that I share is not going to be relatable, and it's going to be different for everyone because everyone's lived experience is going to be different. So take the parts, exercise your agency and autonomy. You have full agency and autonomy right now. So take the parts that serve you and ditch out the rest. I give you full permission to put the rest in the garbage can, okay? Because it's not going to be applicable, it's not going to be relevant, and it's not going to be right for you and your life. So I'll be sharing from expertise, being someone that is paid money to teach psychological safety, teach people how to create environments and relationships that are psychologically safe. This is going to come from lived experience, and this is also going to come from another area of expertise, being all the work that I've done in personal transformations as well. So what I've come to understand is the dynamics here at play when it comes to toxic friendships is what we're really looking for. If we look at the opposite spectrum of toxic friendships, is we're looking for, and I'm just looking down here because I'm looking and referring to my notes, is we're looking for friendships that demonstrate emotional intelligence, like really demonstrate it, not just say that they have emotional intelligence or cover a couple of the basic markers of emotional intelligence, but people that have demonstrated through their actions that they have emotional intelligence, they have the skills around emotional intelligence. We're looking for a sense of maturity. And again, these are all things that are integrated with each other. We're looking for people that have healthy relationships in their life, and importantly, a healthy relationship with themselves. Because this is an absolute key marker as to whether someone has the capacity and the capability, the skills to have healthy friendships. And part of that is someone that takes 100% responsibility for their lives. So we're looking for 4 markers here, which are, if you look at toxic friendships, what is the opposite of that? And the opposite of that, if we flip that, is what a toxic friendship looks like. So we're looking for someone that has emotional intelligence. We're looking for someone that has a sense of maturity. We're looking for someone that has a healthy relationship with themselves and with others. And we're looking for someone that has 100% and takes 100% responsibility for their lives. Now, in these four things, we are not looking for someone that says this. Okay, this is the number one mistake that I made. Because when I looked at all the actions and unpacked all the actions, they were the opposite of those 4 things, okay? So those 4 things are things that we need to look for through action. So one of the advices that was given to me, which I was definitely, cover up that bra, that sports bra right there, that was given to me by my spiritual mentor was, in the terms of dating, which is absolutely relevant when it comes to friendship, is take every interaction as information. Do not get pulled in. Do not even make a decision. Take every interaction as information, as data points, as to, is this someone that is capable of having a healthy relationship with me based on what they are currently doing in their life. Now, a lot of that is shared verbally, but these things that are shared verbally are actions, are experiences that someone is sharing with you about actions that they have taken in their lives or in other relationships that they're sharing with you. So for an example of this is, When I went into a store and I wanted to see something that I had worked on with a client that was physically a physical item in that store, I said to this person when we're out shopping together one day, let's go to this brand. And that person knew that brand was my client because I've worked on this thing with this client and I want to see it in store. So this was a moment of proudness for me. This was a moment of, this is something that had been distributed to 130 stores. It is a really, really well-known brand here in Australia. And this is something that was 2 years in the works, from idea and suggestion, from when I first suggested this as a client, right out to rolling out into the stores. And when I went into the stores and I was looking for it, this person was distracted with other things that were in the store. This person was distracted with the conversation that they were having about themselves in the store. Now I saw that item and I was looking at it, and this person was just like, oh, okay, and did not give the intention that someone that genuinely cared about me, someone that was genuinely proud of me, someone that knew that this was a moment where I was celebrating myself, right? And the work that I had done to help this client get to this point and to actually have this physical item. And this is not someone that genuinely cared about me. Their action of being like, oh, was very dismissive. Oh, that's the thing. Oh, okay, yada, yada, keep talking about my fucking self. Yada, yada, yada. Their behavior was showing they're getting distracted by other things in the store. This is someone that did not demonstrate through their actions that they genuinely were interested in my success, that they were genuinely interested in my achievements, in my hard work, in me as a person. Because if this person really understood me, they would know that my career and what I do for a living and my business, that it is absolutely important to me. And this is someone that had a business of their own, right? Now, if this was flipped, I would be like, oh my goodness, girl, I am like so excited for you. Look at this. Stand over there. Let me take a picture with you if I'm allowed to do that. Let me celebrate you. And I would have taken that moment to be present and to really acknowledge that person and their achievements and to really celebrate it with them in that moment. I would have been present and grounded and been with them in that moment and celebrated, not being like, oh, is that the thing? Keep talking about me. And because what happened is every time I would switch a subject and bring it back to this thing of like, blah, 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 they would then again change the subject. Now, I'm now thinking whether they did that now that I've had that incident where I was re-traumatized, triggered, felt unsafe, where I was threatened and they were aggressive. Now that I've had that moment with them, and I've looked back at the past friendship and the interactions that we've had, and I've looked at the information that those interactions have given me, those data points to show to me that this person is capable of creating situations in our friendship that is toxic and being a toxic friend. This is someone that definitely shared these data points, and I chose not to see them because I labeled them as a kind person. I labeled them as a successful. How can a person possibly be successful? And I mean successful in a business sense, when or someone that has gone through trauma, right? This is someone that has also gone through trauma in their life. How can someone that has possibly gone through trauma and experienced success in business be capable of creating? And that is idiotic thinking. Because absolutely, when I go to organizations and teach psychological safety, these are executives that are paid hundreds of thousands of dollars that contribute and create toxic environments, that create situations and areas and team dynamics that are psychologically unsafe, that in a relationship with someone in their team create a sense of feeling unsafe. But here I was, thinking that because they're in business and they've created some sort of success in business, and because they've also gone through trauma, and because they were a kind and soft person, that person in that interaction was someone that was attacking in a very immature way that lacked emotional intelligence, and someone that definitely had showed me through the actions that they had taken in their life and then shared those actions, that they were incapable of having healthy relationships in their family dynamics, as well as in their romantic relationships, as well as in their friendship relationships, and importantly, in their relationship with their self as well. This is someone that explicitly said to me that I am very good at putting emotions in a box. Warning sign number one. That should have been a trigger point to me, because a person that had a healthy relationship with themselves absolutely acknowledges and understands the importance of identifying, managing, and processing. Part of managing is processing emotions through your mind and through your body and releasing them. We do not put emotions into a fucking box. We do not do that, okay? It is so easy to do that. This is someone that was aware but was choosing not to do anything about that. Dynamic number two, they did that with me. Every time I brought up an uncomfortable emotion with me, they would immediately put a positive spin on it before I was halfway through. Like, I would literally speak, and I wasn't going on for hours and hours and hours. All I would do was simply say, hey, this came up and I don't feel okay with this, or this came up, this emotion came up, or that came up, and I would literally speak one or two sentences. I wasn't going into a story where it was pages and pages and pages long. I was not going into an essay. I was not speaking paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. I was not going on and on and on and on. I was simply bringing in this up one or two sentences. Like, literally, that was it. And that person would chime in and say, dismiss it. They would dismiss my emotions, and they would dismiss the topic and say, oh, I'm sure it's not like that. I'm sure that person's not like that. Oh, that's okay. And they put a positive spin. Now, the connection point here is that's exactly what that person does to themselves. The way that they put their emotions into the box is they dismiss those emotions. They put a positive spin. This is someone in another conversation that said to me, I am the most positive person that I know. Yeah, fucking yeah, you're the most positive person you know, because you dismiss your emotions. You put your emotions in the box. Any emotion that is uncomfortable and a negative, you put it in the box. Your exact words were, I am really, really good at putting, well, maybe they were the exact words, but the exact words were, because I added a word there, which is my fault. I absolutely own that mistake. My mistake is I am really good at putting emotions into a box. And the other phrase is, I am the most positive person that I know. I'm super positive. I'm optimistic. And those two interactions were data points to say to me, hey, Winitha, this is someone that doesn't have a healthy dynamic in relationship with myself or with themselves. All the information out there, all the research, all the science-based research, all the lived experiences out there, we all know that to not be able, like, identifying your emotions is not enough. Processing your emotions is what is one of the key indicators of a healthy relationship with yourself, and is a key indicator of your ability to therefore have healthy relationships with others, both romantic and sexual, and those that are platonic and biological. So this is someone that told me that they're incapable of having a healthy relationship and therefore having a healthy friendship with me. Because when those uncomfortable emotions rose up, and I explicitly said to this person that through your behavior, I felt threatened. I felt that your behavior was, I felt that it was aggressive, and I felt unsafe. Immediately, they felt uncomfortable emotions. Now, of course, if someone says that to you, you are going to feel uncomfortable. I would feel uncomfortable. I would absolutely feel a sense of shame and guilt in those moments, and self-blame in those moments. Self-blame absolutely leading straight shooting to shame. And shame is a really powerful emotion. It will overpower your body. And the number one thing that the way that she handled that was to go into defense mode, was to be defensive about it, and to then dismiss that through the way that they structured the emotion, they structured the conversation. So the conversation was, well, can you explain to me how I've been aggressive? Now, there are two types of people that will ask that, two types of intent. There are the people that want to better themselves and want to grow, and there are people that want to, whatever your response is, use that as ammunition against you to discredit your argument that they were threatening, aggressive, and created a space and dynamic where you felt unsafe. And that intent, now, I mean, I didn't ask, so I don't 100% know. And my lived experience, my experience in coaching and mentoring hundreds and hundreds of people through relationship dynamics, my experience in teaching psychology and psychological safety to one-on-one and in team organizational environments tells me that this person's intent was to discredit me, was to dismiss my complaint, my grievance, and to discredit me in that moment. And someone who dismisses a grievance and a complaint, and someone that seeks to discredit it in a way that is very subtle, like if you see it there, it was very, very subtle, is someone that is toxic. Because someone that was not toxic, someone that is mature, emotionally mature, someone that is emotionally intelligent, someone that has a healthy dynamic with themselves and therefore with others, someone that takes 100% responsibility would say, girl, my intent was not to be threatening, aggressive, or to create a sense of safety. I want you to hear, I want you to know that. I really value you as a person, and that I want you to know that was not my intent. And I want you to know that I hear you and what you say. And I am so sorry that the impact of my behavior was behavior where you felt, not that I think that you did, or not that you felt, or that it came across that way. It came across that way. What the fuck does that mean? That is fucking gaslighting right there. Taking 100% responsibility, right? Is saying, I own it, 100%. The impact that it had to you, if that is your reality, if that is your reality, if that is your reality of the impact that it had on you, I 100% own that. I commit myself to doing better. Please tell me how I can do better next time. And if you don't have the emotional energy to share that with me right now, please do so at another time. And if you do not see that as something that you want to do or that you need to do, then know that I am absolutely committed to this friendship, and I will do everything in my power to do better and be better in the future. That is my commitment to you. That is what I would have fucking said. But no, this bitch didn't, okay? So that is a toxic friendship. That is someone immediately, this person said, their words were, that's who I am. You don't know me very well. Now you know who I am, and I'm not going to change for anyone. Defensive, dismissive, and like, absolutely own who you are. Absolutely don't change for anyone the good parts of who you are. Because if you're a growth-oriented individual, if you have a growth mindset, if you're someone that is committed to having a healthy relationship with yourself and with others, you absolutely fucking know that there are shitty parts of you that will come into the limelight, both through reflection and self-awareness and through brought to you to the attention by others. And you will have a commitment to doing better and being better. Okay? Being better and doing better in the world. Owning who you are, absolutely, that's important. And that doesn't mean that you own all the shitty parts of who you are. That is how narcissists come to life. That is how people that create war, famine, the worst kind of conflicts, oppression. These are the people that create these things. This is where it starts. This is where it fucking starts. I'm not going to change for anyone. I know who I am. I own who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I'm not going to change for everyone, anyone. Absolutely. Don't change who you are. Brackets, the best parts of you, the positive parts of you, the healthy parts of you. That does not mean owning who you are and not changing who you are for anyone or anything. Does not mean that you do not change the shitty parts of you, the parts that create hurt and harm for others. So pay attention to people's language, because people will say those phrases. I absolutely say those phrases for myself. I say those phrases in the videos, in the content that I share to people, to empower people, to uplift people. And brackets, what I have not said in that moment was, that does not mean the shitty parts of you. Because if everyone acknowledged the shitty parts themselves, the parts that were brought to the attention when other people brought that to account to them and held them accountable to help them and support them stand in the best, in their integrity, in the best, highest version of themselves through self-awareness, those parts are brought to someone's attention through self-awareness and reflection. And absolutely. And also we need to be aware that there are certain people in the world that want to nitpick. There are narcissists out there that want to nitpick and bring every flaw to your attention every minute of every day in an effort to control you, in an effort to psychologically abuse you. Yeah, absolutely. There are people in the world. So absolutely, what I'm not saying is that everything everyone says that is a defect in your character is something that you need to work on. And absolutely, we do need to pay attention to that. So how do I manage that? There are people that are skilled and trained called psychologists, counselors, and psychotherapists, and people that teach different modalities, spiritual modalities, that are people that are trained and skilled, that have qualifications, that also demonstrated through their interactions, they are capable of having healthy relationships of themselves, with themselves and with others, that I go to for advice. So these are people that I would say, hey, this person brought this to my attention. And these are people that I trust and respect that also know me. Importantly, people that have the skills and the qualifications of training to work through this with me, not just friends, because friends will always take your side and say, girl, that person was a shitty person. What they said is not true. You are amazing. Own who you are. Don't change who you are. No, you're committed to change. You want to have people in your life through coaches, mentors, psychologists, counselors, psychotherapists. They are not just there for the shitty parts in your life when life is going really bad. They are there to continuously work with you to better yourself so you can be a better person in the world and have a better impact on people and on the planet as well. And people also meaning you. Now, this is someone that, to the best of my ability of what I know of them, what they've shared, was not working with anyone, not even a coach or a mentor. I did not hear them speak of mentors. I did not hear them speak of coaches in the area of personal development, not business development, two separate things. In the area of, I said to this person, I'm absolutely committed to myself. I spend $30,000, $40,000 every single year, minimum, now that I have money. And when I didn't have the money in Australia, we have a program called, it's a mental health, wealth and health, mental well-being program where you get 6 free sessions with a psychologist. I don't know if it's still around, but that is something that I was able to renew every 6 sessions. I would have to go to my GP, they would do an assessment, and I would continue doing that work with a psychotherapist or with a psychologist as well. So this is this is another flag of a toxic friendship and a toxic friend. This is also someone that did not communicate to me. Now, I could have asked and I didn't do that, and that's on me and that's my fault. And I know that every time I shared, they did not share of a person in their life, and they never shared that they were working with someone on the area of personal development, and they definitely didn't share that they were working in a program, at least a program, where they're working on their mindset, on transforming their mindset as well. And that's really important. If you want to have healthy friends in your life that are not toxic, you want to see them doing work on themselves. You want to see them working with a coach, a mentor, psychologist, counselor, psychotherapist, or someone that does spiritual embodiment or spiritual practices work that is, so usually these are people that run programs. You want to be with people that share that are actively doing that consistently, showing up consistently in life and doing that work with other people. So that is another flag. And if you don't know, ask, right? If you don't know, ask. So this is someone that definitely showed me through interactions, showed me that they were not developing their mindset. Now, if they're not working with someone one-on-one, then absolutely are they doing personal transformation work? Reading posts on LinkedIn is not personal transformation work. Being in a 7-day, all day, 10-hour, 15-hour day immersive container where you are working with the facilitator and trainer, where they are diving really deep into your mindset and transforming your mindset, that is a program. Okay, that is a program. Reading posts on LinkedIn or doing some online program that is a series of videos that you watch is not personal transformation work. Like, yes, it is, but it's not going to be to the depth that you require and that you need. You're going to need some one-on-one element in your life. Now, absolutely, do the personal transformation programs that are a series of videos that you watch over a number of consecutive weeks, or that you watch on demand, or that you watch through videos like this, or that is a program that you watch at your own pace. Absolutely do that. And at some area of your life, you need to be working with someone one-on-one, or you need to be working with someone live, so they can catch you in those moments, call you in, and work with you to really mold a more healthy dynamic and way of approaching relationships, being with yourself and with others as well. So that's what I've got to share with you today in terms of identifying toxic friendships. I'm going to be talking about this for the next couple of weeks. There are pages and pages of notes. I've literally spoken about one line out of many in my notebook. And so show up every single week and learn more about how to better identify and manage toxic friendships in your life, because we all have friendships and life is too short to have toxicity leaking and leering and being really super close to us in our life, and to be spending time with people that we don't get back, right? At least in this physical life that we have right now, that we don't get back. And there's not enough information out there on the internet about identifying and managing toxic narcissists and toxic friends that are in our lives. These people need to leave, out, delete, eliminate them out of life. I'm so glad that I eliminated that friend out of my life. And I have definitely learned so much from that interaction, from that very short-lived friendship, but that very re-traumatizing incident that unfortunately I had with them, that I definitely wanted to share that with you in the hopes that you will be able to proactively identify those toxic friendships in your life and will understand how to, with grace and compassion and love and kindness, gently move them out of your life as well. Press the delete button and press that eliminate button as well. So keep coming back to this channel, keep coming back on, we're uploading videos on a weekly basis to share juicy insights on toxic friendships and how to identify and manage them, so that you can better proactively identify more earlier on in the piece, to not allow toxic friendships in your life and to have really healthy, nurturing friendships. My name is Renee the Bunny. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell, because that is how you're going to be notified, of videos in the future in terms of toxic friendships, and also juicy videos on personal transformation and business transformation as well. So subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Much love to you, and take care, and I'll see you soon.